Hello, hello, this is Budgets with Grace, where I give you a glimpse of my life using the lens of my budget. My name's Grace, and today is Transfer Tuesday. I'm very excited to show you how I use the software YNAB to transfer money and reach all of my financial goals. If you don't recognize the software you're seeing right now, it's called YNAB, or You Need a Budget. It's the budgeting software that I use to budget every week, and it's some of the best budgeting software out there. You can use a link below in my description. In addition to that, I use Toolkit for YNAB, which is a free Google Chrome and Firefox extension. You can find a link for it below in my description as well. Before we move on with the transfers, I'm going to move some money around that I found sitting around in my budget that hasn't been updated yet. So, alright, we are going to look at January, and the fund I'm thinking of is my student loans, which student loan payments are going to be delayed at least until February, so I can safely take that money out and move it around. The next category that I'm going to be taking from would be Christmas. Christmas is basically over, and I moved just a little bit into my gifts category. Oh, I didn't move that. Maybe I need to move a little bit more. I wonder where that went then. I know I moved $10. Well, I guess I will move on and move another 10 into gifts. I think all I have to do is buy a book of stamps and mail one package. The package alone could actually cost like $7, so maybe I'll move that into there. Gifts. But now I can take the remaining 32 and pop it back into to be budgeted. Not too shabby, about $150 to put into my goals, which is exactly what I'm going to be doing. And it's under this category, and the mutual fund is not as funded as I would like it to be. I need 140 more. And now I can keep on pace with my goal to deposit $100 into my brokerage account and invest it. I still have a little bit left, so I'm gonna page through my budget and see what I can put it towards. I'm gonna put it into Christmas for next year since it came out of Christmas for this year. And it looks like I haven't even assigned this a goal. I think $20 a month seems to be a good goal. And while needed for spending would technically make more sense if I was spending out of this category, I never spend out of this category. I always transfer it to a different category to spend out of for reporting purposes. So I will make this a target balance, and I want it to be $240, so that way I know I'll be putting in $20 a month every month until Christmas in 2021. Move the due date to December, click save, and there we have it. There's a part of me that wants to just find another $11 or whatever, but I think I already took all the stuff I can take, so we will leave it. I'm going to flip back to December and start to transfer money from my personal checking into my long-term savings accounts. And I'll explain a little bit about that after I do this part. So I'm going to, oh, I have this cool little toggle now. I saw this on, I think the Zelensky Life uses it, and it's part of Toolkit for YNAB, which you can definitely check out. So I'm going to highlight everything. Why not? And now I'm going to unhighlight so I can see in the right side column that how much I've budgeted this much, how much I've spent, and the total available. So as soon as this gets unhighlighted, it gets rid of these numbers, so I'm going to just jot it down. And now I'm going to look over in the opposite sidebar on the left, and I can see that my immediate emergency fund, as I like to think of it in my credit union, is at $1,000. That's where it should always be. So I subtract from that 8,000, 1,000. Now if I look at my long-term savings account, I can see that it is more than that amount. It is almost, it's 259, and I like to keep whole numbers, so I'll just call it 260, is how much I need to take out of my long-term savings, because it's not because I've entered any emergency funds. It's all about my sinking funds and when I plan to spend them. I like to try to keep them in the long-term savings as long as possible to get maximize the interest I get from those accounts. But now there are always categories I plan to spend from, so no shame, add a transaction. So it will be today, and I'm going to transfer it to my main checking, and I'll take 260. And I will just highlight these with the transfer flag. Someone did comment and ask me about my flags, or maybe just complimented them, so I'll explain a little bit. I use very minimal flags. I don't use all the colors. I just use red, green, and blue. Red indicates that it's a transaction that I did not budget for, or I overspent in a category, and I knew I was doing it, but I just didn't care. I can show you a quick example of that. Uber Eats, I knew that I had already spent all the money in my food category, but I wanted an ice cream. And there's one good one, Holo Taco. I knew I didn't budget for it, but I wanted those metallic polishes, so I went for it. And I also just got these like unicorn skin ones. I think it's kind of hard to see in the lighting, but it's got that indigo undertone, and then it's got like magenta-y tones. Maybe if I do that like a hand model. And it also is teal tones. It's super fun. But I didn't budget for it, so when I look over my accounts, I want to see those flags sticking out, which is why I don't label, or why I label transactions that I have budgeted for in green, and transactions that's just moving money around or inflow is blue. The reason it's blue and not green for money coming in, I think a lot of people would label that green, which is great for you, but I don't want to give myself a pat on the back for bringing money into my account. I want to feel accomplished for having mostly green flags, which I've been pretty good. I haven't been this good all my budgeting journey, just keep that in mind. Awesome, now my interest that I'll be getting from my long-term savings account will be maximized, and I'll also have the right money in my checking account so that I never overdraft my checking. Now I will get into goals. First off, I will transfer into my mutual fund. I do $100 every Tuesday. I'll pop into my checking, and I give this a green flag because it is a goal. It's leaving my budget. It's going into a tracking account. And that tracking account I call Van Mutual Fund, otherwise known as Vanguard. And outflow would be 100. And now, really exciting, I get to deposit one of my last transactions into my Roth IRA for the year of 2020. This is insane. I think it's crazy. So it's another Vanguard account. It's my Vanguard Roth IRA. And it's coming from this goal. One feature I wish YNAB had would be in this drop down to show the budgeted, or rather the available amount. So I'll just show you really quick because it shows in the drop down, not just this input area up here. In goals, $660, and I'm going to be putting in $330. Ta-da! That is my second to last deposit. Like I was saying, like it's crazy that I've been making such massive goals to reach this goal by the end of the calendar year. If you want to see the progress that I've been making over the past few months, you should definitely check out the other Transfer Tuesday videos I have on this channel. Thank you so much for watching, and now if you could like, comment, subscribe, all the things, I'll catch you next time. Bye!